forte, vedremo quello che riuscirà a fare.
Certo, ieri è andata bene, anzi benissimo, ho fatto la mia prima pole position ai tempi, quindi no.
In Portugal, Jorge Prado looks sporty all weekend, claiming his first GP win of the season. To breathe life into his MXGP Championship Challenge. However, Tim Geiser remains the top dog and is always happy to come back to a track where he claimed his 4th world title 2 years ago. However, the event organisers have thrown in a little twist this year, reversing the track so that it rides in the opposite direction. How will that affect the racing? Well, we're about to find out at the MXGP of Trentino.
And welcome to the MXGP of Trentino, round 5 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We're in Italy. We are at the Il Ciclamino circuit in the town of Pietramarata, and the Italian Grand Prix in all forms, including the MXGP of Italy or Lombardia or Trentino, taken place at 35 different venues since 1958, 17 of them here at this Il Ciclamino circuit. Jeffy Hurlings, Tony Cairoli among multiple winners. Tim Geiser, Jorge Prado, both getting their first GP wins here in the MX2 class, and they are first 2 in the championship as well. Geiser and Prado separated by 21 points. Maxime Renault, who's 3rd in the championship, also got a win here as well in MX2. Here's the circuit, 1,570 metres long, hard pack underneath, loose dirt on top, watered. We've got braking bumps, and as you heard, we are running in the opposite direction, and it looks a little bit like this. Similar footprint to what we've had, but that start straight goes 180 left, down past pit lane, and then on and on and on until we get to the finish line. 2 corners remain though after that, the tight left and the tight right that take the riders back down past pit lane to start another lap. The winners here last include the late Rennie Hoffer. But we've got a fantastic atmosphere continuing to build here, has done ever since race 1 and the first laps of practice, this morning. Let's go take a look behind the scenes though. This weekend we've got a slightly different team report as we delve into the racing history dynasty of the Maddy family.
Nell'84 sono arrivato tanto così alla vittoria del titolo e quindi sarebbe stato il primo pilota italiano a essere campione del mondo. Michele lo fu e quindi vabbè, però va bene, è stata un'occasione persa, ma la vita è questa, vuol dire che doveva andare così. Il team Maddy è nato in contemporanea. Io mi ricordo mi aveva diagnosticato un ginocchio abbastanza malandato. L'ortopedico mi disse: guarda, se continui questa attività penso nel giro di qualche anno te vai zoppo. Disse, ma da Bologna arrivare a casa ho deciso che la domenica dopo sarei andato con un giovane ragazzo che avevo visto gareggiando e siamo andati a fare la prima gara dell'Europeo. Ho dato le mie moto, il mio meccanico e siamo andati insieme, e da lì è iniziata l'esperienza, diciamo, da pilota a seguire i piloti. Da lì a poco ho conosciuto Chicco Chiodi, è stato il primo vero pilota che io ho avuto. Con lui abbiamo vinto 2 titoli mondiali e poi l'anno dopo con Puzzar, che ho incontrato nella fine della sua carriera, ma che comunque sono riuscito a fargli tirare fuori ancora un anno di grinta in cui ha vinto ancora un altro titolo, e quindi quelle sicuramente le cose più belle, cioè 3 titoli mondiali nella 125, la classe fra l'altro dove io ho corso tutta la vita. Mio figlio Marco, che quando mi ha fatto capire che avrebbe voluto provare a fare questo sport, io l'ho assecondato, quindi ho parcheggiato una decina d'anni il team. Quando anche lui ha deciso che era finita, diciamo, il ciclo era completato, siamo ripartiti insieme in questa nuova avventura e siamo qui adesso.
I won the European Championship in 2015. In 2016 I raced in MXGP for the last year, and then in 2017 I changed job and we started the team with my father. 2017 with Gianluca Facchetti we took the Junior World Championship 125, and after came in our team Mattia Guadagnini. Then we had Alberto Forato. Every year we try to bring up some new names and try to surprise everyone.
Con Fanti, che è un'esperienza con una casa italiana giovane, e Marco ci si è buttato giustamente capo e piedi e siamo qui adesso con Nicolas. L'anno scorso abbiamo vinto il campionato europeo e quest'anno stiamo provando un passo più, forse anche troppo lungo, ma io penso prima della fine dell'anno farà qualcosa di buono.
I find the challenge very exciting. Me and my father, we can work together very well, and we try to mix my experience with his experience, and I can work really well with the young riders, but he always has many tips that you really sometimes don't think about, so this really helps a lot. It's important that we are together, and together I think we can make the difference.
The short version. If you want the extended version, of course, you'll see it on mxgptv.com. Look at the atmosphere building here. MXGP riders out on their sighting lap. That is Geyser Hill, Geyser Corner. It's crazy down there. Welcome to Italy, folks. Anyway, as the Jigsaw Hazards are playing their crazy horns, let's go down to the grid. Lisa was talking to Jeremy Seawer, but before that, a Vice World Champion skier, Luca Di Aliprandini.
So we are just on the start of the first MXGP race. Now we have a special guest, a regular face to MXGP. It's Luca Di Aliprandini. Luca, we see you a lot here at the Motocross, but just tell us quickly, what have you been doing since we last saw you last year?
We saw us in November the last year, so October. I did a couple of World Cup races. World Cup season for me was good. Winter finished 6th in the standing, and now I'm here to watch some the best racer in the world.
The best racer in the world, yeah. And of course, you're very good friends with Jeremy Seawer, who wants to be on camera as well. He wants his chance of having an interview. But firstly, we saw Jeremy have quite a tough day yesterday. What do you think he can do today at the races?
I think I'm gonna hope he's gonna doing really good. He had a big crash in Argentina, so he's still recovering from it.
Yeah.
But at least he was the only one to send on the big triple jump. So
he did good.
As I spoke with him yesterday, a little show has also to be.
Yeah. And just finally, Luca, we're here in Arco di Trento, such a beautiful area. How good is it for the area to have MXGP in town?
For me, it's amazing to live here, and here in Arco is my home track, and I also used to ride, so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful area. You can do a lot of sports, water sports, biking, motorsport, and everything.
Have a good day, Luca. And of course, I'm just going to go straight over to Jeremy here, who's waiting in the wings. Finally your turn. It was a tough day yesterday, wasn't it, for you? You were playing catch-up, but you well recovered.
Yeah, I did. I mean, wrong place, wrong time, some incident in the first corner, so yeah, tricky. But I came back to 9th, which is good enough for the gate pick, and hopefully a better day today. I'm a good starter, so I count on that. And after, I try to enjoy, as Lucas said, still recovering, not 100% there, but we will get there, and I will do my best.
And of course, it's a different racetrack today than yesterday. It's dried out quite a lot. How's that going to affect things?
They ripped it very deep this morning, watered it a lot. It was quite muddy, so I'm curious now. I mean, it's still tough to pass, obviously, but it's going to be fun, and I see what I can do,
Yeah, have a good one. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Luca. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 1.
The riders is now back in the waiting zone. Let's take a look at the championship standings then ahead of round 5, the MXGP of Trentino. Tim Geiser on 186. He is 21 points clear of Jorge Prado, who moved up to second after Portugal with his win. Maxime Renaux is in third, 21 points behind the Spaniard. Then we've got Jeremy Seewer in fourth and Glenn Koldenoff fifth. Ruben Fernandez, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, Brian Bogus, Alberto Ferrato and Thomas Kjær Olsen ran out the top 10. Right, here's what happened in the MXGP qualifying race yesterday. Charging down the start straight into the first turn. Mitch Evans came away with a whole shot coming out of the turn. It was the inside of Jorge Prado. Prado thought he'd snatched it. Seewer down in the first turn though. Tim Geiser just getting past here on the run into turn 2 by Albi Ferrato, who was fastest in time practice. Koldenoff went by both of them on the uphill into turn 3. Evans still led though. Prado thought he'd made the pass happen around the outside here on the opening lap. Geiser banging bars with Ruben Fernandez, not for the first time this year. The HRC rider kept him in his sights. Ben Watson, Kawasaki Racing Team, went down at the bottom of the first hill. He picked himself up to finish an eventual 17th. That was Prado running too wide towards the end of the lap. That allowed Evans back in. Evans would lead for another 9 laps. Ruben Fernandez got the better of Glenn Koldenoff to move into third, but then just tipped it over at the bottom of the hill. He re-emerged in 11th, but would not finish the race. He will go to the line in 25th place. The two Yamahas made contact as well. Koldenoff stayed up. Renaux went down from 5th or 6th. Prado a little bit loose on the exit of the turn. Geiser got around him and made the pass happen into the final turn, squeezed the Spaniard to the outside. That was a lead change on lap 10. He'd already found his way past Evans at that point. Fernandez down again as he caught the rear wheel of Brian Bogus. But Mitch Evans led the way. Geiser through though with 5 laps to go. Prado also found his way through to second. That was 2 laps to go. Evans will go to the line third. But Tim Geiser, Team HRC, on form with his 2nd qualifying race win of the season ahead of Prado and Evans. Aerial shot of the racetrack here, right between the Dolomite mountain range. Snow caps on the top to the left. Just fantastic views on the hills to the right. That's the view down from turn 1. Here's how the riders line up. Tim Geiser goes to the line on pole for the 2nd time this year. Jorge Prado, Mitch Evans, Glenn Koldenoff, Brian Bogus, Albi Ferrato, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek on the beater. And then Maxime Renaux, Jeremy Seewer, Jordi Tixier and the rest. Belandren, Beaton, Jonas, Van Donnick, Tom Cock, Alvin Osland. No Thomas Kjær Olsen. No Aminus Jasikonis. They're still on the injured list. Of course, no Jeffrey Herlings. No Romain Fevre. Hope to have you guys back soon. Tim Geiser arrives here as the championship leader, 21 points clear of Jorge Prado. 3 Grand Prix wins so far this year and a 2nd. He has been the most consistent rider of the campaign so far. Jorge Prado has also been very consistent. 4 podiums, but 2nd, 3rd. But it was a win in Portugal last time out for the number 61. He'll be hoping to win again here. Mitch Evans, great to see him at the sharp end. The teammate at Team HRC to Tim Geiser. It's been a while since we've seen him there. Just get him through the first couple of corners and let's see where he goes from there. Glenn Koldenoff, his campaign is getting better. 4th overall in Portugal. He's had a couple top 5s as well. He sits 5th in the championship ahead of this 5th round. What about Brian Bogus, though? The standing construct Husqvarna on the podium for the first time in MXGP in Portugal. 3rd overall for the Dutchman. Well, he'd love to stand there again, wouldn't he? Maybe even higher. And the man of many hats, Albi Ferrato, thumbs up from him. He's 9th in the championship. Would love to improve on that today if he can. look to the right-hand side as the Fly Racing 15-second board goes up. Geiser and Evans in the first two gates. Who will it be that grabs that foxhole shot? In MXGP, Jorge Prado has 4 to his name. He got the whole shot from the middle of the gate yesterday. He's going to be a little bit further over. Are we looking at him to add another one to the list? Gate drops. Prado and Seaward duke it out, but it's Koldenhoff across the line for the foxhole shot. Down into turn 2. A little bit of bar banging going on down there. As Koldenhoff leads, Geiser up to second, Prado third, Seaward fourth, Evans in 5th place. 4th place now as he goes past Seaward. Bottom of the hill, Seaward tries to cut back to the inside, Renault just behind them. And then we've got Verlanderen on the Geben van Venrooy Yamaha. Just keeping our eyes on everything here on this first lap. Up and down these hills, Geiser hanging on to that second position, but under pressure from Prado. He goes outside, he'll try to swing back across the inside. He was able to do that, but it didn't result in a pass. Through the waves in the opposite direction. Bogus tries to get up the inside of Van Horbeke, his teammate Jonas just behind him. Jonas, I think, found his way past Bogus at the end of the next straight. So those two in around 12th, 13th place at the moment. And it's Koldenhoff who leads. Geiser second, Prado third, Seaward fourth, Evans fifth, Renault 6, Tixier 7, Beaton 8, Verlanderen 9, and Ferrato 10. Van Horbeke in 11th place. And 12th position for Jonas. Fernandez 13, Van Donnik is next, then Jacobi, but that may change by the time we get round towards the end of this lap. Flares and atmosphere through this final corner for Geiser. He's in second position. Renault thought about going down the inside of Evans there, but thought better of it. He remains there in 6th place. So no change then for the first few guys. Koldenhoff leads it here. Geiser second, Prado third, Seaward fourth. Evans is 5th on that Honda, 6th, the 959 in blue. Renault, Beaton 7, Verlanderen 8, Tixier 9, Van Horbeke 10. All riders knew a start was crucial. The main players made sure they were there when it mattered. Now they've got that first lap out of the way, they can just sit there and just find their track for a couple of laps. Alvin Osland. Alvin Osland. Was that Jacobi? Running him out of the way. Seaward going after Prado. This is the battle for third. Wind starting to pick up around the Il Ciclamino. But be careful not to leave the door open there. See those big braking bumps now really starting to arrive. They've built, you can see how much they've built the ground up from that shot there. They go further into the spectator area, a lot softer dirt as well. That's why we've got those big braking bumps on the way up into that 180 left. Geiser still shadowing Koldenhoff. Gap between them, 1.5 seconds. Koldenhoff the fastest lap of the race so far, a 49.4, half a second quicker than Geiser. That gap 1.5 seconds as they head into lap 3. And then we've got Prado, Seaward, Evans, Renault, Beaton, Verlanderen and Van Horbeke, 9.9 seconds separating the first 9 riders. Seaward was tripling that hill yesterday. You know what? If he gets clear track ahead of him, we may see him do it in the race. Good start to the race this, though, for the Hoff. Glenn Koldenhoff keeping Geiser at bay at the moment, but Geiser the fastest rider through Sector 1, a 29.7 compared to a 30.05. But then a response from Koldenhoff, goes fastest in sector 2. Only by a couple of hundredths of a second, though. So the gap's still hovering around that 1.2-ish second mark. Geiser looks poised, though, doesn't he? So as we look at Glenn Koldenhoff, here's Lisa with the boss man.
Louis Foster's, we see Glenn Koldenhoff in the lead. He's getting good starts. He's clearly got the form and the speed. Towards the later stages of the race, we know he suffers a bit of arm pump and he kind of loses that pace a little bit. How do you see this panning out?
Yeah, I think beginning of the season he was struggling with some arm pump and to find the right setup. But it seems that especially the last GP in Portugal he did really well and he found the right setup and riding more smooth. So I think he will do well today.
And of course the qualifying race win in Portugal, he's got the confidence now, hasn't he? Does that make a difference with Glenn?
Yes, he gets more confidence week by week and he feels really good on this track, so I'm confident as well.
Best luck to the team, thank you.
Yeah, got on the podium here, the MXGP of Trentino last year, did Glenn Koldenhoff. Second overall that day. He leads race 1 here. Gap between him and Geiser, who's the fastest rider on track at the moment. Just about a second, as it has been for the first 3 laps. They've put some good distance, though, between themselves and Jorge Prado. Jeremy Seewer keeping the Red Bull Gas rider honest in that 3rd place. Things have settled down. There's Mitch Evans, bottom of the hill, 43, Team HRC. Good ride for the Australian. Good start to the race, exactly what he wanted. Putting those wrist injury perils behind him. Maxime Renault's not going to let him off the hook, though, is he? 9.59. The 3rd of the Monster Energy Yamaha riders inside the top 6. Big panic rev there for somebody as they came into land. Here's your first 2. Stepping downhill. Prado 3rd at the top of the hill. Trying to give chase to these 2, but just losing ground at the moment, although, yeah, losing ground. Jed Beaton, haven't seen too much of the Australian number 14, but the FNH Kawasaki rider, a good start. He's occupying 7th place at the moment. He's 2 seconds behind Renault. It's about a second and a half or so ahead of Calvin Verlander on the Gavin van Venrooy Yamaha. That's the run to the final 2 corners there after finish line. Evans up on the pegs, the number 43. Still there in 5th place. The qualifying race yesterday would have been a massive confidence booster for him. Where's Ruben Fernandez, the Honda 114 rider? He's in 13th place, an eventful race for him yesterday in qualifying for the Spaniard. Renault launches downhill. And makes a mistake at the bottom of the hill. Just looked like he got cross-rutted there, so breathing space for Evans. Seewer just here, the number 91. Still there in 4th place. No threat to Prado at the moment. A couple seconds adrift of the Spaniard. Geiser getting closer, though, to Koldenhoff as they drop downhill for the 5th time. Oh, when we were here last year for the MXGP of Trentino, the first of 3 races here. Koldenhoff, Geiser, Fevre, Herlings, all involved in a massive battle. Fans were on their feet because we had 3 riders going for the championship. If you recall, it was absolutely packed here and rowdy as well. And of course it was busy because Tony Kai Rowling, who retired at the end of the year, his final 3 stops at this Trentino circuit before his final races at Mantova. Koldenhoff, the fastest rider on track, and then Geiser faster again. 1:47.3, 1:48.0 for the Hoff. So these two, nothing much happening there at the moment. That gap remaining pretty static, about a second or thereabouts. Prado on his own in third, Seawer fourth, but Evans fifth. But behind them, you've got in seventh and eighth place Jed Beaton and Calvin Verlanderen. They are in a right old battle for seventh and eighth place. The F&H Kawasaki rider and the Gavin van Venrooy Yamaha will be coming into view any moment now. Just at the back there on the green Kawasaki, here is the number 14 of Jed Beaton. And Verlanderen all over the back of him on the number 10. Verlanderen 14th in the championship, did not go to Argentina. Beaton 12th in the championship, 6th at the opening round at Matchley Basin. Been up and down since then, had a crash in Mantaba. A good result here for both of these two would do them no end of good. Just ahead of them, Maxime Renault. But Beaton, an MXGP rookie this year on that F&H Kawasaki. He'll be okay with that 7th place. Meanwhile, 3/4 of a second separated Koldenhoff and Geiser as they hit the line at the end of lap 6. A first look over the shoulder. A nervous Glenn Koldenhoff now can see, he can hear Geiser bearing down on him. He's led for the first 6 laps. Neatly onto the inside line. Geiser taking no risk, just goes for the more open, wider outside line. Same here, although he does hit a bit of a wall on the exit that time. Steeper, these downhills, than they appear on TV when you get up there. So those braking bumps really working the front end, working the upper bodies. Geiser all over the back of Koldenhoff now and goes to the inside. Koldenhoff needs to be wary of that. Seven-tenths of a second separated them at the end of the lap. It's yo-yoing backwards and forwards, but you sense Geiser now is getting ready just to pull the trigger, but a little bit offline as he hit the bank to the outside before he took off. Getting good drive. He's alongside almost. If he takes the lead here, you watch the roof be blown off this place here, because all of his fans on that corner. Goes around the outside. Nothing in it between them as they hit the finish line. 8/10 of a second. Koldenhoff still hanging on. Led every single one of the 7 laps on offer at the moment. But Geiser now just starting to wind it up a bit. He can sense his urgency. A little bit more aggression in his riding. Getting on the gas earlier. He's been done, sat there for the last 7 laps. He's ready to go. But Koldenhoff just riding a good steady line, making him work. And making him work hard as well. Again, Geiser will go to the outside right at the bottom of the hill. Cleaner on the exit this time for the HRC man. Utilising that clean sweep. Tries to get tighter on the exit, but to no avail. Championship lead at this stage was 21 points between Geiser and Prado. Prado in third will lose 2 points to Geiser as it stands right now. A lap ago through this corner here. Geiser just bounced off that bank and landed too far over to the right, but it didn't stop him from trying to glue himself to the rear of the Yamaha ahead of him. Again, dropping around the top of Geiser Hill. What a fantastic scene this is. The colour and the noise, the atmosphere. Still nothing in it between them. Almost identical lap times. Both of them just turning up. the intensity, but Prado in third is actually quicker than them, and that gap now, only 3.6 seconds between first and third. Is there going to be a surprise visit from Prado soon? Geiser thought about going down the inside, brave to go through there though. You turn too tight, you run the risk of losing the front end. Trying everything to find his way past Coldenhoff. Again, goes outside, doesn't want to follow. Coldenhoff knows he's there. Dared use that outside line in case Geiser shoots down the inside. Prado is getting closer. Less than 3 seconds between Coldenhoff and Prado now in third place. So Prado will sense the opportunity. Coldenhoff again goes defensive. Geiser, can he get out of the turn early here at any point? Yes or no? Well, even if he could, he chooses not to. But you can see how dry that corner is. Loose rocks now starting to come to the surface. We're on lap 9. Geiser being urged on by the Slovenian contingent there. There's a mix of Italian and Swiss in there as well, but mostly Slovenian. .1 seconds all of a sudden. Good response and a good soaking up of pressure from Coldenhoff. Prado losing ground towards the end of the lap. The gap 3.8 seconds now between him and Coldenhoff, the race leader. Another fantastic race here between these two. They were part of what was a fantastic battle last year. And they're bringing it to the table again. This time Geiser goes to the inside, follows Coldenhoff through. Prado still third, Seawer fourth, Evans fifth. He's just set his fastest lap of the race, a 48.9. And Seawer still very much right there in front of him, so good race this for Evans. Renault 6, Verlander 7, Van Horbeke 8. Boger's now has found his way past Beaton, so Beaton in 10th. Boger's up to 9th on the stand construct Husqvarna. Ferrato 11, Tixier 12, Fernandez, Koch, Jacobi, Van Donnick, Pauls Jonas, Zaragoza, Rusiorg and Osland. Right, Geiser again closes down the second half of the lap. Coldenhoff not riding defensive, but just holding good lines and making Geiser go the long way round. He has to turn up the pressure. More power, more speed. With that comes higher risk, especially when you start getting frustrated after 10 laps of following somebody. Again, nothing in it. 6/10. Tries to go around the outside. That's where he passed Prado in the qualifying race yesterday. Outside, jumped to the inside in that next right-hander. Is there going to be a pass there of a similar nature? Or is it going to be at the top of the hill? Well, Coldenhoff goes defensive. He's got no choice. But now Geiser is in the perfect position to go around the outside here. But Coldenhoff keeps him to the outside. No way through for the Slovenian. Coldenhoff really rolling up his sleeves and prepared to do battle. 11 minutes to go. Nice exit. And right back onto the rear wheel of Coldenhoff again. He'll go to the inside here, will he? Well, Coldenhoff has read it this time. With the loose rocks there, both riders, well, I was going to say Geiser certainly up on the peg through there, letting the suspension do the work. Again, gets alongside as they semi-scrub over that crest. Still no way through, but we've seen time and time again, he's got better, was going to say, better drive around the outside, but he commits to the inside this time around. He's going to have to dig his elbows out. That's exactly what he does. He takes over the lead. The fans are going to go balmy. Geiser leads after 11 laps. He's got clear track ahead of him. He'll just want to get his head down and just go and leave Koldenoff to potentially deal with the threat that might be Jorge Prado, who is now about 4.2 seconds behind the Hoff. So Evans still there behind Siwa, ahead of Renault. So sandwiched between the two Yamahas. Siwa at the top of the hill, choosing not to triple as he did in the time practice yesterday and the odd time in the qualifying race. But Mitch Evans, great to see the Australian back up there fighting. The quietly spoken Australian knew he had it in him. This is a great performance from the number 43. Here he is. Renault just getting a bit of a kick as he crested the hill there. He is coming under pressure from Calvin Valandren. So Valandren has had a good few laps because he's found his way up into 7th, which was the pass on Jed Beaton. And he is now bringing Jeremy Van Hoorbeek with him and Brian Bogus. So Geiser, these were the attempts and then the eventual pass. Koldenoff squeezed him to the inside. Then Koldenoff pushed him to the outside to defend the line. Geiser thought he was coming through, but not there. They loved it. And then eventually he did switch the line to the inside, got alongside the Hoff, kept his cool and his composure, and that was the lead change. So Geiser now 2 seconds clear. Koldenoff second. 49.7 for Koldenoff, 48.8 for Prado. Prado closing in on the Hoff. Siwa 4, Evans 5, Max Renault there, the 9.59 in 6, and Valandren. What a fantastic ride this is for the South African on the Gavin Van Venrooy Yamaha. He's there in 7th. Van Hoorbeek is in 8th, not too far behind either. So the number 89, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, on the Beta SDM Corsa. Renault, desperate to find his way past. He's made that ground back up, hasn't he? He made that mistake at the bottom of the hill, let Evans off the hook. Just slowly coming back into contention for a possible top 5 finish, Maxime Renault. Here's Prado. He will believe 2nd is on the cards. And if that's the case, he'll only lose 3 points as opposed to 5 if he stays where he is to Tim Geiser. Remember, 25 points for a win, 22 for 2nd, 20 for 3rd, 18, 16, 15, and then 14 single points right the way down to 20th, where you pick up 1 point. But Glenn Koldenoff looking very good. Held on for what, 11 laps? But Geiser has already turned the screw. The gap now almost 4 seconds. There he is, just across the Foxhole shot line. This freight train coming through here. Siwa, Evans, Renault, Valandren. There is Valandren just off the back of that trio, getting closer to Maxime Renault. Calvin looking great at the moment. Hasn't made a great start, but it's a tricky first corner to negotiate. But he's put himself right in the hunt here for 6th, 5th, maybe 4th, who knows? 3 riders though fighting over 5th place. Evans goes to the inside to defend that 5th position, but Maxime Renault pushes down the inside. He takes over the place from the Australian, who tries to get on the gas early. And Renault goes through into 5th. And Seewer right there ahead of him in 4th. So 4th place under threat now, as Renault goes after his teammate, and Valandra neatly up the inside of Evans, just got on the gas, drifted through the turn. Sixth place for Valandra. So 2 factory Yamahas, a satellite Yamaha with Valandra. He wants to be the best Yamaha out there in this first MXGP race. And 2 of them are right there ahead of him. Got some way, though, to get to Koldenhoff, who's 2nd, of course. But if he can take these 2 scalps, he'll be a very happy man between the races, Will Valandra. 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go. The MXGP of Trentino here, round 5 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Tim Geiser continues to lead. He's 5 seconds clear of Glenn Koldenhoff. Prado is 3rd, closing in ever so slightly. The Red Bull Gas rider just chipping away at that 2nd place of Koldenhoff. But behind him, Calvin Valandra, who's just gone fastest in Sector 1, 29.0, like the fastest sector of the race so far. You can see his sense of urgency as he goes after the 2 factory Yannick. The Monster Energy Yamahas ahead of him, Jeremy Seewer and Maxime Renault. Looking for something different. Valandra goes wider, then gets back on the same line. Evans now 7, Van Horbig 8, Bogus 9, Ferrato 10. Renault thought better than to challenge a teammate there. That's the problem with that corner. Inside leads you out on the exit. Outside, you also have the power to either stay straight or jump back across the opposite side of the track. Very similar to the downhill step after the waves in Portugal, where it's potentially risky to do that because you will get a crossing of lines. But Maxime Renault looking to go around the outside of Jeremy Seewer. He's done well to bridge the gap to 4th. He knows Valandra is charging as well. 15 laps complete. Renault tries to take the shortest route through, applying the pressure to Jeremy Seewer. Look at Valandra all over the back of Renault. And Valandra goes to the inside. Can't make the pass there, but the back end steps out, misbehaves on Renault's Yamaha. Absolutely eating roost off of his teammate. Goes down the inside here, but the 2 lines are going to come together. Still no way through for the Frenchman. Back marker on the horizon. Sure, he knows the leaders are coming through. And he does. Charles Lefrancois keeps out of the way. Meanwhile, Jeremy Van Horbig has now moved into 7th. He's found his way past Mitch Evans. Evans now in 8th place. And he does close the door. Renault got close enough to absolutely execute the move perfectly. He also needed his teammate to just back off as well. Renault now 4th. Valandra would have seen that. He will be trying to pick his moment. Swiss fans in the corner there for Jeremy Seewer. But Jorge Prado has bridged the gap to Glenn Koldenhoff in 2nd. We've got 3 laps to go. Big laps for Koldenhoff and Prado. Jorge Prado holds a nice tight line getting out of that turn, but he's just got to be gentle on the gas. Ease that throttle open. The back end will step out any moment because it's hard, slick racetrack, this one here at Trentino. We saw how long it took Geister to find his way past Koldenoff. A fresh pair of eyes, though, in the form of Prado. Will he be more fortunate? Two and a half laps to go. Again, back markers just on the horizon there. Need to stay off the race line. Ismail Gorizi does stay out of the way. Koldenoff at the moment looking good for a second place finish. Got a fourth and a third in Portugal a week ago, round 4. Geiser over the line, 17 laps complete, 2 to go. The battle, though, for second place intensifies between Koldenoff and Prado. The 259 and the 61. Pit boards at this stage probably rendered useless because the riders know exactly what they've got to do so close to the finish line. A mistake at the bottom of the hill for Koldenoff allows Prado to get right back onto the rear wheel. He's closer than he has been all race. Prado just takes a look again down the inside, loses ground on the exit. Both riders nip to the inside. Koldenoff knows he's got his hands full. Two-time world MX2 champion behind him, Jorge Prado. Geiser coming back in the opposite direction through the waves. That's what about 7 seconds looks like between first and second. So far, so good for the Hoff, despite the efforts of Prado. Jorge Zaragoza, not just going through there, number 99. He's the final rider in the points, 20th place at the moment. Geiser goes past his army of fans. He's about to enter the final lap. Koldenoff, 18 laps complete with 49.1, 2/10 gained between him and Prado that time around. You wouldn't know it, though, from looking at that angle, as Prado gets close again at the end of the straight into turn 2. Hoff more efficient, though. Is there a place on the racetrack where Prado can find a way through? Yes or no? Front end high there, though, for the Spaniard. Got to pick your lines. You've got to be perfect. This late stage in the race, physically, mentally taxing. These riders have the fitness for it, but when you're in this intense battle, it is very easy just to let that concentration lapse. You miss a line or a rut, all of a sudden Prado could be through, but he wasn't so tidy through there himself. Renault still 4th, Stewart 5th, Valana 6th, still hasn't found his way past. And again, a slight mistake there from Prado will just allow Koldenoff a little bit of breathing room with just a couple of corners to go. But Tim Geiser rounds the hillside, drops down for the final time. Fans on their feet, flares, and what a spectacular scene that is. Geiser wins race 1. Second for Koldenoff, third for Prado, who limps over the line. 3 seconds adrift, 1 or 2 mistakes on the final lap, just allowing Koldenoff to make that break. 4th for Maxime Renault. We wait for him to come through any moment now, and he does so. Closely followed home by his teammate Jeremy Seewer and Calvin Verlanderen. Not a lot in between those two. Van Hoorbeek 7, Bogas 8, Ferrato 9, and Mitch Evans should be 10. Crazy atmosphere here at Trentino. You gotta love it. Geiser will put 5 points between himself and Jorge Prado. That gap will go out to 26 then. Ahead of race 2. Crazy scenes. Crazy Slovenian fans. Would we change it? Not a chance. Would you trust that lady with a front end chainsaw handlebar combo? She looked in control. I think everybody's over the line. Miro Sievenen will be the final point scorer for the JWR Honda squad. But just as Tim Geiser finds his way down to the winning enclosure, we will grab a quick word with him. Hopefully Lisa is waiting in the wings to touch base with him. Right, here is Tim Geiser.
Tim Geiser, great job. You gave your fans exactly what they wanted. But I tell you what, Koldenoff didn't make it easy for you, did he?
No, exactly. I mean, the start was not too bad. I got squeezed on the inside, and then I managed to came out quite okay. I think I was 2nd or 3rd, something like that. And then with Glenn, I was trying. I felt that I was faster, so I was trying different lines, and then managed to make a pass, I think, somewhere in the middle of the race, and then make a little gap and control the race. So, yeah, pretty happy.
Good luck for the second race.
Thank you.
Tim Geiser, a comfortable win in the end for the HRC rider. Took him a while to find his way past Koldenoff, what, 11, 12 laps, something like that. But once he was through, he got his head down, immediately opened up a couple of seconds gap, built it from there, backed it off in the latter stages, picks up the 25 points. His nearest rival, Jorge Prado, comes home in 3rd, a 5-point swing for the championship leader. Official confirmation, MXGP Race 1. Tim Geiser wins it from Glenn Koldenoff, Jorge Prado 3rd, Maxime Renault 4th, Jeremy Seewer 5th, Verlanderen 6th, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek 7th, Brian Bogas was 8th, and then we had Albi Ferrato, Mitch Evans rounding out the top 10. Ruben Fernandez 11 for Honda 114, Jordi Tixier's JT 911, KTM was 12th, ahead of Tom Cock. Henry Jacobi, Jed Beaton, Brent Van Donnick, Pauls Jonas, Ben Watson 18, Alvin Osland and Miro Sievenen. Take a look at the highlights of the race, shall we? Race 1 went a little bit like this. MXGP Race 1, charging down into the first turn here at Trentino, round 5. Jorge Prado thought he'd got the foxhole shot, but it was Glenn Koldenoff with his first of the season. Geiser right behind him in 2nd, Prado around the outside in 3rd, Seewer there in 4th, Evans in 5th, Ferrato 6th. As they charged uphill, Geiser was quickly into that 2nd position. Maxime Renault then made a slight mistake here as he closed in on Evans. Verlanderen charged down the inside of Beaton, that got him into 7th place. And then the challenge for the lead. Koldenoff getting caught here around lap 10, 11, 12. Everything Geiser tried, it was battered away by the Dutchman. Fans on their feet and enjoying every minute of it, even down there in pit lane. But eventually Geiser got his moment, snuck to the inside, Koldenoff no way through. From there, he built a sizable lead and looked very, very comfortable. Renault did eventually find his way down the inside of Evans. That put him into 5th place. Valandron also snuck through as well as he latched into 6th position. Renault then found his way past his teammate to move into 4th. Siwa came home in 5th, but it was Tim Geiser victorious in race 1. His 5th race win of the campaign. Koldenoff was 2nd, Prado was 3rd. Take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? Glenn Koldenoff with his 1st of the season and his 1st since race 2, Majora, last year, round 4. So the Monster Energy Yamaha rider on the score sheet. Jorge Prado on 4, Henry Jacobi on 3. The Hoff now on 1. Tim Geiser also has 1, by the way. It's all Greek to me, that is why somebody would want to hibernate under that flag. As long as he's enjoying a time there, like everybody else. Take a look at some of the best moments, some of the atmosphere shots then from that first MXGP race, shall we? Listen to the atmosphere. Some of the best moments then and some highlights there from that first MXGP race. We'll be back in just over an hour's time when we return to the MXGP of Trentino, round 5. It'll be for MX2 Race 2 and MXGP Race 2. So for now, from the Pietramarata region here and the Il Ciclamino circuit, we'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now.